Every day on this channel, I go through everything Elon said on X in the last 24 hours. And here's how many times Elon posted about each subject today. I'll go through everything he said about each subject before moving on to the next one, and starting with Charlie Kirk. Elon reposted this quote from Charlie's wife, Erica Kirk. She said, "You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die." And it's been an absolutely enraging sequence of events. Leftists brand Charlie a fascist. A 22-year-old leftist kills Charlie because he believes Charlie is a fascist. Thousands of leftists then celebrate Charlie's murder. And then leftists refuse to believe the leftist killer was a leftist. Elon says, ridiculous. And Wade Miller responded to that saying, "We have every reason to think the shooter was a radical leftist." The suspect's high school friend says Robinson was the only leftist in a family of very hard Republicans. When the friend saw the news on Friday, he said that he was shocked. "I knew he had strong political views, but I never thought it would go that far." And Robinson, the shooter, had expressed his disdain for Kirk in the day leading up to the shooting, claiming the conservative, a married father of two, was full of hate. So Wade says we have every reason to think that he was a leftist, and Elon said of course he was. Sean McGuire says, "I'm in touch with law enforcement. I'm confident that Tyler Robinson was a left-wing extremist. It's infuriating to see people try to spin this as if he was on the right because of his family. The man murdered Charlie Kirk, a hero of the right. Use your brain." And Elon said, obviously. Tim Pool says this is why they feared Charlie, and it's data showing that college campuses were historically dark blue, but they shifted hard towards Trump in 2024. And Elon said, exactly. Lisa Kippy has only just begun creating a spreadsheet of people who've said vile things about Charlie Kirk's assassination. So far, teachers and professors are by far the most represented. Elon said they are the ones poisoning the minds of our children. Blair White says they don't kill you because you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they can kill you. And Elon says, exactly. Charlie Kirk once said, when people stop talking, that's when you get violence. And the Daily Wire posted a video that compares the violent response to George Floyd, where storefronts were having to board up their walls and their glass so that they didn't get looted. And on the top, you have mass amounts of people praying together in response to the tragedy of Charlie. And Elon reposted this. And Big Fish says they were both in Discord. Who was with them in those chats? Dig deeper, FBI. And the shooter on the left is the guy who tried to assassinate Donald Trump, and that's Tyler Robinson on the right, Charlie Kirk's assassin. Elon says that's the trail to follow, the Discord. And in this video yesterday, we looked at some Microsoft employees who are expressing their views about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Microsoft said, "We're aware of the views expressed by a small subset of our employees regarding recent events. We take matters like this very seriously, and we are currently reviewing each individual situation. Comments celebrating violence against anyone are unacceptable and do not align with our values." So Grum said, winning, and Elon reposted this. And a liberal influencer, Hassan Piker, tells his viewers to kill conservatives.
Letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the fuck is this shit, man? Slice them up, slice them and fucking dice them. What the fuck is this? You cannot have a bigger fucking layup. You could not have had a bigger fucking layup.
He said you need to be shanking these motherfuckers. You need to be gutting them. Elon says that's incitement to murder. And that same streamer also said we need to kill all landlords, let the roads soak in their capitalist blood. If you want to fix America, you would kill Rick Scott. Charlie Kirk, guys, you know someone's got to do it. Then Charlie Kirk actually got assassinated, and he said, "Wow, this is horrible. I can't believe this happened, guys. I don't condone this," and pretends to cry to seek human. Go f yourself, you terrorist-loving piece of shit. Grum says, yeah, he's got to be banned, Twitch. Come on. And Elon says, yes. Speech is violence, so now I get to kill you. Walter Kern says it will take some time to remove that line of code. And Elon reposted it. Abe Greenwald says, to be honest, I never paid much attention to Charlie Kirk. I'm the wrong demo. I've now been watching his work and I see how extraordinarily lovable he was. And Elon reposted it. The Clendathu Cap says, I still can't get over the fact that a guy was assassinated on a college campus for engaging in a debate, and the response from college professors all over the world is to celebrate. It's one of the grossest, least self-aware, most openly corrupt responses I've ever seen. And Elon said, yes. The Kifness says, weird. The media keeps telling me Charlie Kirk was racist, homophobic, and transphobic. But here I keep seeing first-hand accounts of black people, gay, and trans people saying he was one of the nicest people they've ever met. Who do I believe? So difficult. And Elon reposted it. Josh Barnett just heard a lady say she didn't like Charlie Kirk because he was racist. Josh says, so I called her out and said, what specifically has he said that makes you think he's a racist? Nothing but crickets. These people are retarded. They have no damn clue what the hell they're talking about. I've had it. Enough is enough. Call them out every single time. And Elon reposted that as well. Bonchi says, let me explain this to the leftists suddenly deeply concerned about cancel culture. Digging up decade-old tweets of jokes or hacking a political donation to get someone fired is cancel culture. People getting fired for currently openly cheering murder is not cancel culture. And Elon says, bullseye. Scott Adams says, has anyone offered a direct quote in context from Charlie Kirk that they considered racist or sexist or bigoted? That dog is not barking. By now I should have seen plenty of examples. All I hear is generic insults and hate. And Elon reposted it. A Secret Service employee who celebrated Kirk's assassination is put on immediate leave. Lauren says it's time to clean house, and Elon says yes. Retard Finder says this is a demon.
He loves gun violence and he gets shot. Did you see that? Oh man, Charlie Kirk. You know, to the Charlie Kirk family. Did you see all that blood that came out of his body? It was like, whoa. To every Zionist, every Christian Zionist, may you be just like that shop, the Target. All his followers, just like the shop, the Target. I'm not saying that violence isn't the way, so don't misconstrue my words, okay? Did you see all that blood? That dude's dead. There is a fucking God.
Sean says there are not a small number of people like this in America. There is a very large number. You can't address a problem if you don't know it exists. Elon says peace is not possible with people who revel in murder. And a man named Brian Harlow is now calling for the murder of Stephen Miller. This is a major with the U.S. Army Reserves. FBI, you need to arrest this man before he kills someone. He said, I wish the Kirk shooter, a very knowing exactly when and where Stephen Miller likes to have lunch. His legal name is Brian Bintliff. Harlow is a stage name. Elon said whoever this psycho is, he needs to be in prison. And speaking of Stephen Miller, he shares his last conversation with Charlie Kirk.
And let me tell you something I've not shared with anybody, but the last message that Charlie Kirk gave to me before he joined his creator in heaven was he said that we have to dismantle and take on the radical left organizations in this country that are fomenting violence. That was the last message that he sent me before that assassin stole him from all of us. And we are going to do that under President Trump's leadership. I don't care how. It could be a RICO charge, a conspiracy charge, conspiracy against the United States, insurrection, but we are going to do what it takes to dismantle the organizations and the entities that are fomenting riots, that are doxing, that are trying to inspire terrorism, and that are committing acts of wanton violence. It has to stop. And my message is to all of the domestic terrorists in this country spreading this evil hate, you want us to live in fear? We will not live in fear, but you will live in exile. Because the power of law enforcement under President Trump's leadership will be used to find you, will be used to take away your money, take away your power, and if you've broken the law, to take away your freedom, Sean.
And Elon reposted that. And Mike Solana says the New York Times publishing a piece from Luigi fetishist Hassan Piker today in which he uses the death of Charlie Kirk as a vessel to discuss his own political beliefs and to self-victimize is one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen from the outlet. Sean says, I agree. It is impossible to explain how far the New York Times has fallen. They do not search for the truth. They want to push their narrative, and Elon agrees. And meet Senior Master Sergeant Adam Antonioli. He's from Florida, and he thinks the people mourning Charlie Kirk are pathetic. On Facebook, his profile picture is an upside-down flag, and he refuses to respect anyone who respects the Commander-in-Chief. Matthew Lohmeyer says, thank you for bringing this to our attention. I've now visited the member's Facebook page and see his public criticism of the commander-in-chief. The picture he's posted of his upside-down US flag hanging outside his house, and much else. Will verify immediately and take swift action. Matt then quoted himself saying, "This morning it was brought to my attention what appears to me an explicit violation of the oath to defend the Constitution coming from a uniformed service member, the public criticism of our commander-in-chief, and overt partisan behavior. There will be swift accountability. What I have seen is, at a minimum, a violation of Article 134 of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Of course, the veracity of the accounts and this conduct must be confirmed. I've asked our senior military leaders to read the member his rights and place him and his entire chain of command under investigation. Zero tolerance for this. Men and women who are guilty of this kind of behavior will not serve in uniform," and Elon reposted it. And on Blue Sky, the left-wing platform, they're saying to get J.K. Rowling next, following the death of Charlie Kirk. Matt Goodwin said, "Blue Sky proving once again that the very people who claim to be the most open-minded and tolerant of all are actually the very opposite of those things." And Elon reposted it. Kelly J. Keane says, "It's no longer left versus right. What we are facing now is good versus evil." And Elon says, "Yes." And he quoted a deleted post and he said, "Either we fight back or they will kill us." Donald Trump Jr. said, "Anyone else notice that when one of our heroes was assassinated in cold blood in front of thousands of people, including his wife and young kids, that not a single store in America had to board up their windows? That tells us everything you need to know." And Elon reposted this as well. And then Elon posted a link to a video on Instagram from a transgender person, and he quoted it saying, "Honest."
I am been on hormones for a year, a little over a year. I just had my boobs done. I've had one facial surgery. I am not going to have bottom surgery. I'm going to do one more face surgery on the bottom of my chin. I am transitioning to look as much like a female as I can. That's the way I've wanted to be my whole life. I understand that I cannot ever be a biological female. For those of you people that cannot define what a female is, realize that you're part of the problem, okay? A female is someone who was born a female with X chromosomes and can have babies and can give birth and so on and so forth. For the idiots out there that say that some men can have babies because they're trans men, well, that's because they're a biological woman. So let's stop all the nonsense and stop all the bull. I don't care about pronouns. My biological name and my legal name is David. The name I like and prefer to use is Daviana, so feel free to call me that. Ask me any questions you want. I'll answer them. Bye.
And again, Elon said, "Honest." But Stephen Barrett says the greatest lie of our time is pretending that Hitler's National Socialists were right-wing. All socialists are left-wing. And Elon said, "True." And Define L says this is a must-watch, but I can't show you guys due to the copyright music. But the video is a montage of Democratic leaders and politicians basically inciting violence. They say things like, "We will bring fire," "We will fight in the streets," "This is war." They paint Trump as an extremist. And Elon reposted it. Mr. King says, "I just want a society where I can live in a city, walk down the street, and be confident no one will attack me. See no homeless camps. I can shop at businesses, and it all kind of works out. It's not hard. We've had it before." And Elon said, "Yes." But Matt Walsh says, "I cannot unite with the left because they want me dead. They will spit on my grave when I die and laugh in the faces of my wife and children. There can be no unity with such people, but I will unite with anyone on the right. I hereby discard any grudge or personal feud I may have had with anyone on my side. Maybe we will pick up those arguments sometime in the future. Now we have to stand together." And Elon reposted it. And Kevin Bass said, "As a former leftist myself, you must understand that the left will never stop until they achieve victory. They will not leave you in peace. They will not coexist. The only two options are roll over and be crushed, or crush them. Over and over, relentlessly, constantly, forever. As soon as you stop crushing them, they will come back and start trying to crush you again. They may hide it, but that is what they are doing, always and forever. There is no peace. There is either crush or be crushed by the left. This is the truth. Do you understand?" And Elon reposted it. And today, Elon Musk addressed Tommy Robinson and millions of British patriots in London at the Unite the Kingdom rally. And you can see here, this is the full 18-minute talk that Elon gave to the crowd, and Elon reposted this. And he also quoted the entire 7-hour live stream that Tommy Robinson posted. But I'll just show you guys some of the clips that Elon reposted, including this one.
I am of primarily British heritage, British ancestry. I want Britain to be greater than it ever has been. I want Britain to remain Britain. I think there's something beautiful about being British. And what I see happening is a destruction of Britain. Initially a slow erosion, but a rapidly increasing erosion of Britain, with massive uncontrolled migration, a failure by the government to protect innocent people, including children who are getting gang raped. It's unreal. The government has failed in its duty to protect its citizens, which is a fundamental duty of government. This has got to stop. There needs to be massive government reform in Britain. And the people need to be in charge, not some bureaucracy that doesn't care.
And here's another clip that Elon shared.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Congratulations. Congratulations, Tommy, on putting together an amazing event and really rallying the people of Britain.
Elon, none of this could have happened without you giving the British public access to the truth and giving us free speech and fighting for our free speech. So on behalf of Great Britain and the British public, we're incredibly grateful, Elon.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome, and you may notice this T-shirt that I'm wearing. It's great British author George Orwell. What would Orwell think? I think that's generally a good way to look at these things. He would want freedom of speech. He would want the people to know what's real. He'd want the people to fight against government oppression, and fight for the truth and fight for the future of Britain.
And one more clip of Elon talking about the BBC.
Do you know what's great? The BBC and the mass media cannot control this, can they? I love it.
I mean, the BBC is complicit in the destruction of Britain.
And we pay for it, Elon. We pay for it.
Yes.
We're forced to pay for it. Do you know they send
It's
them to
insane.
jail if we don't pay for it?
You're forced to pay for your own destruction. It's insane. It's unfair. It is wrong.
And Dr. Helen Ingram said, "Dear BBC, please for the love of God, stop calling thousands of normal, peaceful Brits far right." Elon said the BBC is just government propaganda. And over 110,000 people were there in the streets in London waving the Union Jack and St. George's Cross flags today. Chants of Charlie, Charlie, Charlie have been heard throughout the day. Something powerful is happening worldwide. Hundreds of thousands are in the streets to protest against censorship and mass migration. They are going to take England back. And Elon reposted it. In a rare post on the Boring Company, they say that Prufrock 1 has emerged. This completes a 2.26 mile long Vegas Loop tunnel connecting a property close to the airport in the south to the Westgate Resort in the north. Along the way, there will be 8 new stations, including the Virgin Hotels and the Hughes Center. Elon says, good work by the Boring Company. And XAI is hiring STEM specialists, and Elon reposted it. And Tetsuo says, image to monocular geometry estimation model for depth estimation to Tencent video diffusion generation. Deployed and configured with Grok code fast. This is a process where a 2D image is transformed into a 3D depth map. It basically aims to infer depth information from a single image without the need for additional sensors. And Elon reposted this. So that is everything that Elon said today. I think the most powerful thing that he reposted was that this is no longer left versus right. This is good versus evil. And I also recommend watching the full 18-minute talk he gave to those 110,000 Londoners. He was very energetic, very passionate. I'm not posting it on my channel because Tommy Robinson has over 500,000 subscribers and I suspect he's going to post it on his. But it is on my X account if you are interested. And as always, if you guys want early access to my daily videos or you just want to support the channel, you can do so by joining the channel as a member. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.